Ultimately, though, the most powerful check we have on Trump's authoritarianism is not the Congress, it is not the courts, it is the American people. It is all of us, each of us. Fear is Donald Trump's weapon of choice. Divide and conquer is his one repugnant strategy. Law firm against law firm, media outlet against media outlet, neighbor against neighbor. He counts on us being too scattered to oppose him, too scared of a truth social media post or an executive order, or the very real threat of physical harm for anyone to push back. So there's something incredibly powerful when someone looks King Donald in the eye and says simply and with their whole being, piss off.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your courage to be here, because in the society that we live in today, it takes a lot of courage to say that you're supporting President Trump. And, you know, it's really quite interesting how people have tried to manipulate people and how to intimidate people and change their minds. This has been going on since we've been in America. And the media, they like to pick on him, any little thing. You know, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The only one who ever was perfect was Jesus, and they crucified him.
In a recent political event, Dr. Ben Carson, the former neurosurgeon and presidential candidate, took the stage with his characteristic calm demeanor, prepared to address the issues at hand. Opposite him stood Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, known for his assertive style and tendency to evoke strong emotions. Schiff attempted to label former President Trump as a racist, anticipating support from the audience. However, Dr. Carson's measured response challenged Schiff's narrative, shifting the room's atmosphere and prompting a reevaluation of the discussion. Dr. Carson's approach has often been described as cerebral and composed, allowing him to navigate contentious topics effectively. For instance, during a previous debate, he maintained his signature cool amidst a raucous environment, providing methodical responses that resonated with many viewers. Before we delve deeper into this exchange, make sure to subscribe and activate notifications. It's crucial to ensure that the truth isn't overshadowed by misleading narratives.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your courage to be here, because in the society that we live in today, it takes a lot of courage to say that you're supporting President Trump. And, you know, it's really quite interesting how people have tried to manipulate people and how to intimidate people and change their minds. This has been going on since we've been in America. You know, you go back to the days of slavery, you know, and a lot of the states there were more slaves than there were owners. So what did they do? They had to divide the slaves. So they told the ones in the house, you're better than the ones in the yard. And the ones in the yard, you're better than the ones in the field. And then after slavery was over, the light-skinned ones, you're better than the dark-skinned ones. And on it went, trying to divide people. Today, they say, if you are a conservative, then you are somehow an Uncle Tom, you're a horrible person, you're a demon. What a bunch of crap, you know, but, you know, it's been going on for hundreds of years. And it's really time to put a stop to it. So I am very happy to see that you have the courage to come out. You know, it doesn't bother me anymore because, you know, I only worry about what God thinks. I don't worry about what these other people think. But, you know, sometimes people ask me, what happened to you? You changed. I haven't changed. I changed about 35 years ago because, you see, I grew up in Detroit, a bastion of liberalism. They call it progressivism now. They keep changing the name. But anyway, then from there to Boston, a bastion of liberalism. Back to Detroit, and then to New Haven, Connecticut, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Ann Arbor, Michigan, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Baltimore, Maryland, a bastion of liberalism. So I had no chance. I was a liberal. I was way out there. And then I did something that liberals are never supposed to do. I listened to a conservative. I listened to Ronald Reagan. And I said, you know, he doesn't sound like a horrible racist person. He sounds just like my mother. And at that point, I started thinking for myself. And that made a big difference. It made a big difference in my medical career, too. I didn't do what everybody else did. I always started thinking out of the box. How do you solve this problem? And that's the reason that God gave us these complex brains. Your brain has billions and billions of neurons, hundreds of billions of interconnections. It remembers everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard. It can process more than 2 million bits of information in 1 second. Would God give you something like that just so that you can be a sheep and follow what somebody else tells you to do? Or to think for yourself? And, you know, don't you find it fascinating that so many people say, the president's a racist. He's a horrible racist and everything he does. Well, you know, it seems to me like some years ago, Jesse Jackson actually gave the president an award in New York City because he opened so many opportunities for black people. Is that what a racist does? And then when he moved to Palm Beach, he was right on the forefront to fighting the clubs who were not admitting Jews and blacks. Does that sound like what a racist would do? He is the one who finally got the Second Chance Act done. Does that sound like what a racist would do? When he took office, he brought the office of HBCUs to the White House so it could get appropriate attention, more money than ever. Opportunity zones so that people could take this money and direct it to the places where people did not have opportunities before. An economy where you have the lowest unemployment rates for black people in history. And it goes on and on and on. Let me tell you something. If he's a racist, he's an awfully bad one. He needs to go get a lesson from the real racists. The people who look at somebody like you and me and they say, because your skin is a certain color, you have to think a certain way. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And they start calling you names. Those are the real racists. But you know, the president believes that a rising tide lifts all boats. He doesn't believe in identity politics, and that's why he's doing things that work for everybody. And we should be happy about that. And the media, they like to pick on him, any little thing. You know, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The only one who ever was perfect was Jesus, and they crucified him.
Schiff approaches the podium, his voice dripping with drama, as if he's auditioning for a soap opera. Trump divides this nation, he declares, waving his hands like they can stir the air itself, expecting cheers. Instead, the room holds its breath. Across from him, Dr. Ben Carson sits calm, almost serene, the kind of calm a surgeon carries before removing something dangerous. He surveys the chamber, and you can feel the tension. Everyone knows something big is coming. Carson speaks slowly, deliberately, reminding everyone that division has always been the tool of manipulators. From slavery to modern politics, people have been set against each other to maintain control. If you're a black conservative today, he says, you're called an Uncle Tom, just like those who dared to think differently under slavery were shamed. Schiff blinks rapidly like a glitching machine, then opens his mouth to repeat his rehearsed claim of racism. But Carson doesn't pause. He delivers fact after fact. Trump supported clubs that once excluded black and Jewish members, earned praise from Jesse Jackson for empowering black entrepreneurs, achieved record low black unemployment, poured funding into historically black colleges, and signed landmark criminal justice reform. Carson leans forward, piercingly calm. If that's racism, it's a very poor one, he says. The room reacts with laughter. Schiff looks stunned, struggling to recalibrate. Carson continues, sharp and precise. Real racism is telling someone how to think because of their skin color, not supporting opportunity, not advocating faith and responsibility. The Democrats shift uneasily. Schiff blinks again, caught off guard. Those who weaponize race to manipulate votes are the real problem, Carson says, laying it bare. Not Trump, not conservatives, them. Then, Carson delivers the message that can't be ignored. A rising tide lifts all boats. We are one nation under God, bound by opportunity, faith, and personal responsibility, not emotional tantrums masquerading as policy. Schiff tries to speak, but the chamber has already changed. Carson didn't just win, he dismantled the narrative with calm authority. As Schiff retreats, defeated, Carson walks away the same way he entered, composed, confident, victorious, letting his facts speak louder than any shouting could. If you want more moments like this, where truth cuts through the noise, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Don't let political theater drown out reality. Stay sharp, stay informed, and keep seeking the facts.